everyone, and welcome to the Crime Wall with Cass and Mo. After researching today's Crime Wall case, I have a different take on new love because today's victim left her husband to then be with the man that will ultimately take her life. If you want to hear more, then keep on watching the case today that made it to the Crime Wall. Today, we'll be telling the story of Julie DarDar. Julie DarDar was like every other woman in the world, trying to enjoy the American dream. She was married, a mother of two, and her husband's name was Micah DarDar. Now, we all married with the hopes of, a forever after, but it seems that Julie and Micah just couldn't save their marriage. And they decided to split somewhere around the mid-2021. Now, this is a warning, everyone, about rebounds, because we as women can tend to be a bit more emotional after a breakup, which can at times cloud our judgment, as we are looking to fill the void or the pain that normally goes with a tragic event, such as a divorce or a breakup. Now, Julie didn't waste any time, as she would eventually meet Benjamin Beale. According to various newscasts and articles, Benjamin Beale, who is currently trying to post bond, comes from a very wealthy family, giving him the means to possibly meet his $1.4 million bond. Benjamin Beale is currently being held as he has been accused of decapitating and dismembering Julie DarDar, who was his alleged living girlfriend. Here is a little background about Beale, who was also known as Kelly Kilpatrick. He was 34 years old at the time of his arrest, and close friends inform authorities that he uses the non-binary pronouns they and them. Beale seemed to love the arts and music, as he often attended what was known as the Burning Man, which is a free-form art and music festival that's held in the Nevada desert. Now, to all my yoga lovers, I'm not sure what type of Zen Beale was on, but he was also known to practice acro yoga, which is a combined yoga and acrobatics. Now, he obviously didn't fit well in this community because, according to other yogis who asked to remain anonymous, said that Beale had fallen out of favor with many of them in the community over allegations of harassment and other mischievous behaviors. So how and when did Beale and DarDar meet? Well, according to some of their social media, it seems there was a post that linked the two as being acquaintances sometime before June 2021. There was a post that stood out where Beale actually was thanking DarDar for helping with an elderly neighbor's move. According to the other resources, DarDar had moved in with her alleged boyfriend, Benjamin Beale, shortly after her split with her husband. Beale and Julie seemed to bond over their love for attending these music festivals. According to interviews from her husband, Micah DarDar, and close friends, they stated that Julie unfortunately struggled with drug addiction and mental illnesses. Her split with her husband was a major trigger that spiked her drug addiction into an out-of-control spiral. Now, even though the two were split up, it seems that Michael still tried to remain in contact with Julie, as I believe they were still married. But it was one day that his calls, they seemed to go unanswered, and he could not get in contact with Julie, and this was not the norm for him. With this concern of not hearing anything from her, all he did was decide to report her missing. Now, this is when things took a grisly term because no one could get in contact with Julie DarDar per Micah DarDar. He stated that he suspected something was severely wrong because Christmas went by without Julia calling to talk to her daughters. Micah DarDar felt strongly that Benjamin Beale was responsible for her disappearance. Now, some time went by, resulting in enough evidence for authorities to decide to obtain a search warrant, leading them to discover a dismembered, decapitated body in the freezer of a travel bus owned by Benjamin Beale that was located right on his property. There are reports that the bus was often used as a means of travel and that both Julie and Beale used this bus to go on certain trips. The strange art that was displayed here in this picture also shows a red eye at the top of the bus.
It was reported that there was a power cord that ran from the home to the bus, giving power to a freezer that was located inside of this bus, parked on his property where he lived. Poor Julie's decapitated body was stored in this freezer, and had it not been for her husband, Micah, authorities might have never even looked for her. It was stated that the murder weapon used to dismember and decapitate Julie was a power saw that was owned by Benjamin Beale. Until they were able to confirm whether or not this was Julie's body, they arrested Beale on obstruction of justice, weapons, and drug charges, along with a meth lab being found in his home. A lot of Julie's friends and family were against Benjamin getting a bond because they felt like Benjamin should have to sit in jail until it was confirmed whether or not he indeed murdered Julie DarDar.
So a $400,000 bond is not really outside of their means, but that must have been the most that he could be charged with was the weapons and drug charges, as they were currently holding him as they waited on the autopsy results. Later, the autopsy was performed and confirmed that the body did belong indeed to Julie DarDar, and the causes of death are as follows. The coroner says she suffered from blunt force injuries of the head and neck with asphyxia due to manual strangulation.
Benjamin then was charged with second-degree murder of Julie DarDar, and his bond was raised up to $1.4 million. If Benjamin is convicted of Julie's murder, he could be facing up to life in prison. Julie DarDar has left behind two beautiful teenage daughters and her estranged husband, Micah DarDar, as well as family and friends and advocacy groups who have stepped up to fight against Beale having a bond at all.
Reminder for all to be safe, share our breaking news. And if there is any part of this story that you would like to have a request to have updated that you may feel is inaccurate and you are a part of the family, we will definitely do a victim update. Those forms are listed in our description box. And we also would like to know if there's any fund that you have set up for the victim and their family. We can also link that in our description box for the loved ones to support any of their causes or charity in loving support of their memories.
Guys, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.